Of the presentation on React. As you notice, I now have our Pancakes costume on. Pancakes are official mascot. EJ got to wear him that last year, but it's me this year. So very excited. We're going to go ahead and bring in Alad. Hi, Alad. How you doing?
Hello.
Good to have you on. Thank you for joining us. So we're going to go into kind of a quick Q&A section here. We've got a few moments before our next talk starts with Dakota. So we had a couple of questions posed by the chat so far, and we were hoping we could get your input on them. We're going to start with the big one that seems everybody is on everybody's mind. When is V2 coming?
We actually just announced the developer preview of V2 today.
Okay.
So yeah, the blog post is out. I think it's ready, so you can search for it. I can try and find the link and share it real quick, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit at the end of CDK Day. But developer preview is out, which means that it's the shape and content that we want it to be. We want to give it some time before we declare GA, but it's ready for use, and we're really interested to hear your feedback. So yeah,
fantastic. I know a lot of people are really excited about it. The big thing is the consolidating of packages, so that we don't have individual packages for every single AWS module and things that go out. Can you give us a quick summary of what are some of the other changes we might be expecting with V2?
Yeah, so the monolithic packaging was the main motivation. We realized we took the wrong turn when we first decided to release the CDK into 1,000 little pieces and created our own little dependency hell. So we had to invest a lot of energy to roll back that decision, and I hope that that's going to be a huge win for both application developers and library developers, so that they can basically take a peer dependency on the CDK and allow their consumer to decide what CDK version to bring. The second thing that's slightly related to that is that we extracted the construct class from the AWS CDK into the constructs library. And the goal of that change is to enable interoperability between CDKs. We're not seeing too many of those today because that was actually one of the blockers for interoperability. The construct that it was in the CDK was not the same construct that was used in CDK for Kubernetes or CDK for Terraform. And so by extracting constructs into a separate library and having that shared across all CDKs, there's going to be some really interesting use cases enabled by that, and I'm really excited about the future in that sense. Other things that we did for V2 was to eliminate experimental APIs, which I think is also something that people are going to be very excited about. Basically just stabilize all the APIs that we could, and we extracted all the other APIs that were not ready for, that are not ready for prime time, and they're going to be released separately. And again, the idea is to give confidence to people that from now on, CDK is going to be fully compatible with semantic versioning, which means that unless we made a mistake, which we will roll back, there are not going to be any breaking change within the same major version. So you should be confident that when you pick up a new version, your code will continue to work as is, and you'll be able to use all the good stuff for new versions. One last thing was which is something that we're going to do in every major version, is removing all the deprecated APIs and enabling all the feature flags. And so if you're using a deprecated API, you should see some warnings. And those warnings are something that you should consider and migrate off of those deprecated APIs. In all cases, there should be alternatives to deprecated APIs. And an enablement of feature flags is also something that may change the behavior of your code base. So you should be aware of which feature flags you're using. And I think that we should probably do a little better helping you migrate from feature flags. That's something that I don't know that we're on point yet. I guess that's it, unless I forgot something. But that's the major things. I think the important thing to note is that it's the same CDK, it's the same code base. Most of the code will not break. Most of the code will be compatible. You're not going to see a huge, like we really deliberately kind of didn't include any features that are big. We wanted to keep this very like easy, the migration.
Gotcha. Cool. Great. Thank you. And it sounds like during your talk here at the end, you're going to be covering a lot about Progen or Progen. How do you prefer we say it?
I don't know.
It's your project. Are you kidding? Progen?
I'm saying Progen, I guess.
Okay, but Progen.
I'm actually not going to cover a lot of Progen, and I'm incredibly amazed that there are like 3 talks about Progen this CDK day. It's like just mind-blowing to me. Okay. So my talk is actually not going to be like, I'm not going to cover Progen. I'm not going to talk too much about what it does. I'm just going to play with it a little bit, doing some live coding. So hopefully it's not going to be completely obscure to people who are not familiar with Progen. I'm going to say maybe a few words, but yeah, I hope that other talks will cover more. I saw this really cool talk this just now about like writing constructs with Progen, and it's amazing. I'm really excited by that.
Very cool. Sathya, do you have any questions that we want to ask?
Yeah, I have one related to Progen, and this is something which is quite close to my heart as well. This posted in Slack. It goes, does anyone have a sales pitch for Progen?
A sales pitch?
Yeah.
Or like internal?
Like, yes. What's the use case?
It's a good question. I'm struggling with something very similar at Amazon. Like we're trying to like get some funding to productize Progen and make it like a more like production ready. If you're using Progen, it's a very early stage in the project, and the thing is, I'm hearing from people constantly. Once I started using Progen, I don't want to go back. I literally hear that a lot. Yep. And so there's definitely value there. And personally, I'm using Progen for all my projects as well. So like we know that there's value, and describing the value hasn't been really trivial for some reason. And I think the biggest, the best way that I can describe it is basically it manages your project toolchain configuration for you. But if someone has a good idea, that'll be pretty useful.
Okay. Cool. Well,